You're staring at your resume, looking at your GMAT score, your work experience, maybe even obsessing over your GPA from years ago and wondering, am I actually competitive? Or am I just setting myself up for rejection and disappointment? Look, I get it. I've worked with so many MBA applicants who've had this exact same fear. But here's the thing, admissions isn't about being perfect, it's about knowing how to position yourself strategically. So if you're wondering where you stand, let's break it down. Let's talk about the reality of MBA admissions. First, let's get something straight. No one gets into a top MBA just because they checked every box. I've seen candidates with formidable GPAs, a 780 GMAT, and brand name work experience get rejected. And I've seen people with weaker profiles, lower GPAs, non traditional careers get into M7 schools. The difference? It's in how they frame their story and how well they connected the dots for the admissions committee. MBA programs aren't just looking at numbers, they want to know, what have you actually done? What kind of impact have you made? And why do you need an MBA? If you can answer those questions well, you're already ahead of a huge percentage of applicants. Okay, so how do you actually assess your profile? There are four main areas that matter: academics, career progression, leadership and impact, and career vision. Let's start with career progression. Schools don't just care about where you work, they care about what you've done. Have you taken on more responsibility? Have you led projects, influenced decisions, driven results? If you don't have a big name employer, that's fine, but your application needs to show movement, not just time passing. Next, academics. This is where GPA and GMAT or GRE scores come in. If you're below average for your target schools, you need to prove you can handle the academic rigor, whether that's through a strong quant score, additional coursework, or just making sure that the rest of your application is airtight. Then there's leadership and impact. And no, leadership doesn't just mean I managed a team of five. It's about initiating change, driving results, solving problems. Maybe you launched an initiative at work, built something outside of work, or led in a way that isn't tied to a job title. Whatever it is, it needs to come through clearly. And finally, career vision. This is where so many people trip up. If you can't clearly articulate what you want to do, why an MBA is necessary, and why now is the right time, that's a problem. Schools want to know that you have a plan, not just that you think an MBA sounds like a good idea. So, what if you're looking at this list and thinking, I'm solid in some areas but weak in others? Am I doomed? No, you are not. But you do need to be strategic. If your GPA is low, well, you need to show quant strength elsewhere. If you don't have an elite employer on your resume, don't despair, but do find ways to prove that you've made an impact. If your career vision is shaky, figure it out before you start writing those essays. The point is, no one has a perfect profile, but the strongest applicants know how to frame what they do have in the best possible way. So instead of obsessing over a single weakness, ask yourself, how am I telling my story? Am I making it easy for the AdCom to see my strengths? Am I making a compelling case for why I belong in this MBA program? If the answer isn't a strong yes, you have a lot more work to do. If this video helped, let me know in the comments what's the biggest thing you're worried about in your application right now. And if you want more real talk on MBA admissions, hit subscribe. I've got a lot more coming your way.